Why Prima G? Welcome back to another episode of Living Millennially with StefKai. Of course, this is the podcast where we unlock the millennial experience one episode at a time. Today's topic is actually one that I'm fearful of, but I hope that we'll get through it all in one piece today. Of course, follow me on YouTube at StefKai, and that's StefKai, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, on all my Instagram and on my social media platforms at StefKai8. But before we get into the episode, please go and watch the other episodes and just help me to get to 1,000 subscribers. So today I have with me three, what should I say, gentlemen?
That's fair.
Are you a gentleman?
It's a gentleman.
Are you a gentleman?
Depending on who you ask.
Sorry, man. That's not true.
So I have three of my brothers here. These two went to Campion. We're literally, from first form we're together. And then this is my cousin. So let's introduce yourself. Let's start with you.
Greetings, Omari. On social media is no Omari J.
Okay.
Othniel. Social media, my full name. Othniel P. Bell or Uncle Belly, whichever part you find.
Yeah.
Alright, Chris Gemini. Gemini is G3MINI, so Chris _ Gemini, so I'm Chris.
Okay. And of course, you know that I'm StefKai. So normally we start the episode, guys, with a little game, this or that. So we're going to get straight into it. Of course, you can let me know your choice. Steph London or Jada Kingdom?
Jada Kingdom.
Jada.
Neutral, you know.
You have to choose one.
No, man, I don't say them thing. You know, I say the damn thing, you know. You just
Pull up this one.
cut that.
No, go. Continue. Steph London or Jada Kingdom?
Don't choose none of them. Woman, we don't want a war gangster involved. We just, you know, what a...
Oh, it's a war thing.
Who won? Who you think won? Who you think won?
A war, them a war.
No, me no miss about that.
You know busy about
Me no
that?
miss about that.
Set to my try setting up, yeah.
Me no miss about that.
All right then. So it sounds like you prefer Steph London.
I mean, no, I'm going to tell you, say, when woman a war, man, gangster
No, man.
stay to the side.
And you're Jada.
As regards to whatever them do,
Yeah.
to them think that.
You just follow me and stay
Anything
neutral.
should be right.
All right.
Yeah, right.
That sounds good. Campion or Arden?
Champion.
Okay. That is it, man.
Bull man. Man.
Of course, you know Campion is the best school. All right. Kiss on the first date or after the first date?
Depends on the vibe.
Yeah. Depends on the vibe.
You know,
Oh, so kissing on the first date is okay.
Depends on the vibe.
Depends on the vibe.
Really.
It depends on the vibe.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, emotions are just straight tugs.
Dogs.
You have to find a balance. I mean, you say you have to find a balance.
Emotions.
Wait, so hold on there. Balance, tugs, emotions.
Emotions.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting conversations. Of course, you know I'm a tugs, like low key. You may not see. I'm a tugs. Don't know. All right, guys. So that was good. All right. So here we're talking today about masculinity and just like how in Jamaica, and our millennial experience with like the expectations of men and all of those things. So let's just start on that topic. Like, should men have emotions?
Yes. We already do.
Yeah. So exploring it, crying, and all of that. What do you feel about that?
What?
Exploring it, crying, all of that thing. Like, I feel like society tell us, especially in Jamaica, like man off a ball, them kind of things. What do you feel about that?
I'm a bit of both ways, like yo, man of football about certain things.
What kind of things that?
Like if you lose your job, then yo, that's some way, you know, that real and truly rock you. But
Yeah.
if a girl, if you're right, only just a link for 2 weeks, we are bad for.
You ever cry over a girl?
I mean, I know when I'm on the other side, so I have to ball. Man.
After 2 weeks? No, but on a real note, like I believe that men have a interesting way of sharing emotions.
Yeah.
And I think that in the social media space especially, we tend to want to encourage men to share their emotions similarly to how women share their
That's
emotions.
where the issue lies.
Yeah.
As I said, we all have emotions.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the expression of it and how we channel it is differentiated.
Right.
I don't believe that men should express in the same way that women, when I feel like there are negative like end results if men go
What
that
kind of
route.
negative end results?
Well, first of all, if we just speak and say like,
No, this is a candid space. That's open.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're supposed to be a man and whether in your relationship or you have a family, wife and kids or whatever, everyone is more than likely looking to you to be to some level a rock.
Yeah.
Um, you wouldn't want to be expressing yourself in the same way that your partner might want to be expressing himself because she's going to say, okay, we are in the same state right now, so I cannot look to this man to be my rock. I might have to say, I don't have that support or that backbone.
Yeah.
So,
So you're basically saying that even if you are go through the worst experience, if you have to show up for your family, you just have to
You
put
have-
that
you
before.
You have to show up for your family, regardless of what you're going through.
right.
Or your girl or whatever, your mother.
But that don't mean. But what I think Bill talking about, it doesn't exclude you expressing your emotion.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, talk too much.
No, that's fine. You can talk. What you
Go
say?
cross.
I agree and I disagree. I believe in solid communication.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
And as men, oftentimes we are cultured not to express ourselves. Expressing yourself does not mean that you become irate. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to break down and cry, but it also can mean that as well.
Yeah.
But it is our responsibility as men to be composed. Because, for example, if you're a man, and a lot of us, we have people who look up to us without us even knowing.
Facts.
And we have to be able to set a standard that persons can wish to embody. So other young men can say, all right, so look at this man, look how he handles a problem, identifies the problem, he seeks help where it is necessary, because a lot of us we close off when it's not time to allow persons to help us and we end up drowning. So if I have my partner and I go to my partner and I communicate to my partner that I'm having a bad time, it doesn't necessarily mean that if I want to cry about it, I must have a woman where I can lean my head on her and cry about it, because I say tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to attack the world like a beast.
Yeah.
Because my safe space is at home and my partner has created that safe space.
Yeah.
So once I'm in that space and I'm allowed to be vulnerable in that space, then it sets a precedence, which is why family is so important. The right family structure is for support.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people miss out on that. So you have a toxic family, so you don't get that support and feel like you have that backbone, so you go and you search for other things, and that's how you mess up.
Yeah.
Right? So once you have that, your support system is good. And a lot of women, they don't remember or understand what the support system should be, and a lot of men have forgotten.
And then it also begs the question to if like women contribute to how some men behave.
I would say that like one of the tenets, like personally, that I believe in terms of masculinity is you can consider like ruthless accountability. I feel like
Explain
that is something that separates us, or it's a level that you have to get to truly consider yourself man or masculine or whatever. Not necessarily some of the things like deep voice or money or whatever. Somebody who is accountable for themselves and can therefore be accountable to other people.
Yeah.
I think like that is stage one. So when you're saying the effects are what you expect from a woman, I feel like we as men might like drop the ball on that, because I think that it should first start with us analyzing what it means to be a man within ourselves and how we want to express that within the world before we even get to the woman doing this, so I'm going to have to do this. And I feel like ruthless accountability, it starts with me, standards I set with myself, and then everything else flows from it.
Because just continue that thought. A lot of men don't have standards for themselves, especially when it comes down to romantic relationships. So you have a lot of couples where the woman is demanding X, Y, or Z of her man, for him to be strong and this and that, and keep composure and be the rock, but at the same time wanting him to show emotion. But what she knows to be emotion, like showing of emotion, is crying every day, or let me not say that. However she expresses her emotion, because I don't want to stereotype nobody. But however she expresses emotion, that's how she's going to expect emotion to come from her man. Right. But I have a specific way of communicating. I have a specific way of dealing with my emotions. And yes, we as men tend to be, if we're not ruthless with our accountability, we can go to the extreme of expressing our emotion, and that's why you get the man when they find out them woman cheap and them go finish them, or the slightest thing in change in their romantic relationship, that they're like, yo, man, we're gone, like we're not.
So that leads me to the statement: are we living in a healthy society? When I say healthy, I mean mentally healthy. Because the first thing we need to also understand is, if you are with a person who has not necessarily gone through and accepted their pathway on their search for identity, one, if they have not figured out self, two, I don't even want to break it down that deep. Let me just keep it surface level and say simple like this. Does our society pay the right attention to the mental health of the citizens? Because you will meet a person, and you will meet a woman, or a woman meets a man, and in their head, that person looks okay on the outside. But what is going on when those gears are turning? And that's where a lot of us get lost. And let me tell you something: you can be a stable man, and you can be a stable woman, and the moment you meet the person who has not done their due diligence to ensure that not only that they're not that they're functional, because being functional is not it.
At this point in time, functionality is a matter of survival.
Survival. That's the thing. So not functional, but mentally healthy. They've done the work, put in that work. If you don't find a person like that and have your standards set, as you say, you're going to find yourself in that constant loop of trying to please this person and falling back into old habits of wanting to, just be that person's rock, when you can't have an empty glass and I try to fill it, or you can't see somebody glass empty and then you are full it every day. Where is the return? There's no return. So it's going to be draining.
That's very true, actually. And then also, just touching on the point about mental health, I feel like men, the moment you say, because sometimes you have men who say to their partners, like, I need help, I want help, and it's just like, it's not that serious. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like men, as I said, like, this thing, we must just keep up this whole thing, and as soon as they say anything other than that,
will be used against you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like men are just always in a position where you do, or if you don't, you still get the blame.
The thing is, as a man, I feel you have to do. That's our imperative as men, to act. Assess the situation. As I start everything with ruthless accountability. What is my part? What is it that I can do to affect the situation, and then act as such, because I feel like a big issue, or a big part of the issues we have now in society, is as a result of men failing to act.
Men failing to act like men, or men failing to act? Men
failing to act, period.
So like, take care of your picnic. Show for your wife, show for your girlfriend.
Show for your job, show for a job.
So that's an important thing. Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about now, like, since I touched on it, manhood in its full spectrum. Like, we went to high school together. I was not the most manly. Right.
Hey, you're talking the truth.
Right? Right, but like, growing up, it was hard for me to make friends with like guys, because Like, I just never felt understood or anything like that. I mean, like, you guys, we went to high school, but like, we're always very chill. So my question to you guys, like everybody on the discussion, like, can like men who are not as masculine be friends with like and G's?
What's up it?
But it's like,
What's up it there? What you asking me? We don't know what you
No, so like for example, So like for example, we are good friends. We all move well, but like there are some men who will be like, no, man, I chat to that guy, you know. Yeah, we're like B-boy, you know, that. So it's just like the question of like, can a real fruitful and healthy friendship be between a male that may be a little more effeminate than a regular man? Can it happen?
Yes. It goes back to what you're saying about identity.
Yeah, man. You have a solid in here.
You have a solid now, who you are.
Yeah, man.
So currently on social media, I've been doing some video series on redefining manhood. With and for me,
check it out. It's really a good guy.
For me, and this is our life philosophy. This is not just like for social media.
Yeah.
I want to redefine the beliefs, boundaries, and behaviors of and about men and help others to do the same while on a journey to become a better man. You see me? A part of that, the redefine your beliefs. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have something within yourself that is like, yo, no matter who come to me, no matter what job I have, no matter which woman left me for whoever, no matter what circumstances going on, no matter if a homosexual guy come to me, step to me and want to come look me, nothing about the world is going to change who I am and my belief system. Yeah. You get
who
me?
You are and what you're about.
What you're about.
Yeah, man.
It's not going to change it. Yeah. And from once two people have good intentions with each other, with the relationship, yeah. I don't see why someone who grew up in a more feminine environment, I don't see why a man who grew up in a more feminine environment can't be friends or with someone who is a bit more masculine.
Even the very idea of it causes if you have to choose your words wisely. So even if you think you have to choose your words wisely, because you have a man out there will probably sit down and assess and say, but no man, the man there that under the quiet.
Yeah.
But I can talk for myself and say, I know people who know me and know me well know say, girl thing is just my thing. See? And I'm just my thing that, you see me? And you can't come to me with certain things. But that no means I'm going to sit down and chastise a man how he want to live his life.
Yeah.
So me can be the brave man and say, well, if me have a virgin and for example, my virgin come to me and my virgin say, bro, you know, say me no want bro. You have to know, tell me what you mean. Tell me what for do for understanding. Yeah. Because you have to tell me how I understand, you know. Mm-hmm. Then you set your boundaries.
Yeah.
So the boundaries important.
You have to set your boundaries.
So at the end of the day, it's not going to be no surprise to me. But society has said so. Yeah. We are not there yet. We're trying to be there, but we are not there yet. I mind, you have some people carry to the extremes still, you know. But you have some real genuine people out there that just want a supportive virgin where him consider the quote-unquote societal masculine for just par with, I don't mean nothing by it. He just want a virgin for can even pull him and show him the ropes.
Totally get that. So let's talk a little bit about heartbreak. Have you ever got near heartbreaking about broken by a girl?
Sure.
Yes.
What was that like? What was the worst heartbreak you had?
Yeah, guy. How do you that child? You try to my trauma. John won't start.
We get some valid.
You know, ask them thing now and Stefan start. John,
in what the worst heartbreak is, but I'll tell you what effect of some of that would have been. One time, like when me a youth and have woman problems or whatever, I just start put on sneakers at one time and just start run. So till me I run 5K in some record time and them things. People think say, oh, it's just a healthy, progressive youth.
Stress so tough.
Anytime a man heartbroken, gym. Anytime you see a man just like within 6 months, this is a man just ripped.
Ripped.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing like when you say a woman, she start post beer like bikini picture and them something there.
Cut off her ear.
Cut off her ear. Yeah, man.
Me never take it from that angle. Me just I say, yo, me just need to burn off that energy.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro.
In a way, burning off the energy same way. It's just how you perceive it, because everything in life is perspective. Because me not go try no one woman make me ball.
You make any woman ball?
Yeah, man, enough.
Say that to the camera.
Enough.
And I apologize to them.
I'm sorry.
The boss said,
Sorry about that.
Because what you do, can't rub out. But I'm sorry.
No, man, but yeah, it didn't mash me up.
Yeah.
Especially after it was 4.5 years.
whoa.
Like,
But tell them know that you were knowing.
oh no, man, yeah, man, that was a time ago, man. No, yeah, man, a time ago that, man.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
I'm
I'm
engaged.
engaged.
What's the average time for a man to get over heartbreak?
Over. No, you ask
Average,
questions.
all right, to become functional again. You know, no, man.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Heartbreak.
No, sir. If it's 2
mechanical
days,
man,
never. No, man, but for me,
the joke online is that men find somebody quickly. And so you get over it in like a couple weeks, but then you see when 1 year pass.
yeah, man, no, man. Yeah, man. But I say about 3.
Yeah.
If him they really love her,
Yeah.
somewhere between 3 to 6 months, depending.
Because if that
Because that not stop him from doing what do, you know.
Yeah.
If him do him still gonna do it. He can't stop.
Yeah, like the thing you have visualize our face and you say John wants
John.
You see me?
Could have
One
been
thing,
you,
one
yo.
thing.
Oh my God.
Girl,
yo.
What thing you talking about?
See, alright, for me, alright, in my toxic days, a girl ever make the mistake and give me a bun.
No, let's talk about that.
Out there.
Hold on there a second. Hold on
Out
there a
there.
second. Let us just scrap this right now. In terms of bun,
Yeah.
Cheese, go with
when
it.
you give bun, and if you find out that the
It's
girl
wrong.
give you back
When me give bun, it's wrong.
Right, but if the girl give you back bun because you give bun, would you be upset?
Bun cancel bun, but me we still a left.
Bun cancel bun?
But
You
it's
believe
still a
that?
left. We still a left.
Don't ask me no question about bun.
We still a left.
My only answer to bun is cheese. Don't ask me no question.
I really and truly, because you see, as men too, we have to be careful what we say, because you have people out there right now, we have to take what we say literal. Alright, first and foremost, if you're with somebody and them cheat, move on.
Yeah.
100%.
Move on.
Leave the
So
situation.
you don't believe in taking back somebody that cheated on you.
Boy,
Have you
Alright, so
ever taken back
here's
somebody?
my
it
view on
depends.
cheating. And it goes back to that same brand accountability.
No man, we need a
Rapid.
shirt. Can we get a shirt printed? Accountability king.
man, same cars are if you go give
No.
anything, you know.
You see, when a woman, or my thought process of, I've never known that a woman give me bun. But see, if woman supposed to give me bun, in my, and I'm a real woman, because you know you have some fake woman who
So
think
you
them
never
give me
catch
bun.
your woman and
Well,
give
never
bun
actually.
yet.
But me just I say,
Gotta be careful with that sentence there.
You never catch him woman and give him bun
Careful
yet.
with that sentence. no.
Hold on, let me done.
Yeah, what's a real woman? Father God.
we don't know
When she's in the position of being in a relationship.
Don't pressure the youth, man. Make the youth talk, man. Don't pressure the
If you
youth.
find out
start.
a woman give bun, to
Yeah.
me, that's just a fundamental error on my part. I thought that this person was something that the person is not.
Oh.
So,
So you
we
mean-
kind of
Done.
separate and say,
So
oh,
you mean-
you show me what you are. So,
So you're not gonna cuss and do the whole of that.
It's a waste of energy.
But if you say accountability, are the first thing, I'm tell you, as a G in the street, me get bun the first thing me do. I look upon it and I say, me give her enough time. I mean, I have honest with myself, because I have honest. Me give her enough
You
time.
give her enough time as in like you have many others, so you have to portion out the time.
No, man, just relax, man. You don't twist my words. Even me, I say, man. if me there with a girl and she give me a bun, the first thing I do is I ask myself some questions like, have I really been there for her? Have I supported her as I should? Have I been caught up? Because everybody go through things in life. Have I been more caught up in a specific phase in life that I'm going through right now that caused her to feel left out? I'm not saying what she do right, you know. But you understand.
You have to take
You
responsibility
have to take first.
for yourself
Take
first.
responsibility first, because guess what the first thing you need to do? Fight the root cause analysis and make sure so that not happen again.
After the relationship done.
Yeah, do if it done, it
Yeah.
done, but you are going, you move on and you make sure say you move on as an improved person.
Sure.
No, if that happened to you again, you need to go to a doctor. Communicate, man.
Exactly.
Real
Real man
communicate
like man.
like,
There we go.
boy, what is like, man? That
Man,
my
no,
biggest
Like,
for the whole
man
time when I write this
communicate
up.
different.
Man
Man
must behave like
communicate.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but first, we
Man
have to
communicate
understand what is a man. Me no
Alright,
hear nobody
alright, watch
ask a
this.
question they
Alright,
all
watch
this.
know. What is masculinity? What
Watch
is a
this.
man? What
Hold on,
means
before
that?
you even go there, sir, brother.
Yeah.
The underpinning of masculine interactions. What do you think it is?
Jog ahead and
That
No,
question
I'll
is
tell you
so
what
bigger
it
than
is.
me still.
It's violence. So
It's
at
what?
it's violence. At our worst, most devolved level,
Right.
we're violent. I will never say the wrong thing to Omari and vice versa, because we know that if it gets to the wrong level, we will become physically violent, and one of us might die. Every man that interact with any man accepts that, whether they think about it or not. That is why man and man always cool. You notice when women start get like into their negative emotionalities, them say some crazy thing, and none of the man don't really know how to take that. Is because the underpinning of female negative interaction isn't violence. It's what is the thing that I can say to make this person feel the
Their
worst.
tongue.
Yeah.
Tongue,
So they that difference is like the base level difference in communication between man and woman, because they will say almost anything, because to them all it's going to be is them said to say. But I know say if you said the wrong thing to me, or if me said the wrong thing to you,
I hate that.
we might have forget.
So
Yeah.
in essence, it's
So I'm saying there's a difference.
men tend to temper our words more than women.
And
Alright.
when we say something like completely negative, we know say we're
So,
willing to take it to a direct.
How does it? All right. So how does that? All right. So what I want to get an understanding of, and to get the people's understanding is what our perception of what a man is.
Yeah.
Right. We haven't defined that. We haven't defined that. We haven't defined what a man is. No. You understand? For example, I can throw some words out there and I can say, my ideation of a man is an individual who communicates, because you have to be careful what you say now. So me being a man and how I embody myself as a man. Let me say that. I communicate.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I ensure that there is a method. So I will be composed with it. I plan, right? I am mindful of my actions, because I understand that with every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Right.
So I always try to ensure that in any form of interaction that I have, it must be healthy. So the first thing I did with myself was to do the groundwork and ensure that I know how to speak to people. I know how to receive information, whether negative or positive, right? You know how to receive that. Another thing is a big thing where we lose out. Men don't know how to do. We don't know how to receive love, bro.
True.
We don't know how to receive love, bro. So, when you love a boxing in your eye, you can't see it.
Why do you love for boxing?
That's the man.
Alright. All when you love the right in front of your face, and whether it be your virgin, whether it be your auntie, your woman, your pitney, or show your love, you can't comprehend it, because you never go down that road to find yourself and drive a nail into who am I, what am I about, because I understand the concept of accountability, responsibility.
Yeah.
I understand them things.
Yeah.
But there's much more to that than being a man.
Yeah.
Because when a girl come to you and she irate, you know to match her energy.
Yeah.
Because the first thing a man should, we are logical beings. Try to understand what she has go through. Women are emotional
Which is a
teachers.
fact. Which is
a
a
fact that
fact.
I don't mean say that they in a whole heap of book before
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Alright. What is the problem? As I say, root cause analysis, because I love find problem, you know. So what
You love
find
problem.
I like to find out what is
What's
the
the
issue behind?
Behind the problem.
Okay.
So,
Behind
right.
the problem.
But you know, we are Jamaican and we are chop the words them. But as we say, we'll break it down.
We need to make a statement that men are biological male human beings, because
As a start.
because a lot of our actions are biologically based.
DNA built in.
Right.
Because so women have wombs. Let's start there. Women have wombs, and because they have womb, they're going to be more.
They have hormones to substantiate.
They're naturally going to do certain things better, and it's the same thing for us as men. And because we don't have that that ability to carry a child, we are now going to do, and we have the let's say for example the muscle density to be stronger. That is where you get your man must provide, man must
The
protect,
rules, right?
because
The rules,
you have that natural affinity to do those things.
I'm not for cut you, but that no, as a Jamaican, not for cut you, but yeah, people nowadays are trying to shift or experiment with a thing that I don't think they understand, that we've been at this for thousands of years. Like, there is a reason as you start getting into the DNA and the biology of it all. We evolved this way because other ways that were tried
Failed.
resulted in
Death.
thousands of deaths for other people, you know.
Death.
So I'm not saying that we shouldn't be experimenting, but I don't think nowadays we give enough respect to the things that have developed over all the
Right.
We're not looking to. I don't think we're really trying to improve upon the model. I think a lot of people are trying to throw out the model.
Yeah.
And because they're
And
not respecting the model,
right.
we're in a lot of issues right now. With them as well.
Right.
The man, I say recently too, a man him dep on some podcast or something, and them ask him, you and your girl in your bed one night, somebody breaks in, aren't you the one to go out and engage the intruder or whatever? This man I could go into, if she did learn karate when she young, and what if she know for fire gun better than me? And I say, we wouldn't be in these problems if we just respected that. All right, as a man, part of the role,
Safety.
safety,
Protection.
provision,
Yeah.
protection.
Because
And
they're
them thing
naturally
they-
inclined to do
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Safety as a
Inclined to
whole,
do
you know.
that, yeah.
Safety as a whole, not only physical protection, you know, but
Even emotional
Right.
safety.
Even
Yeah.
emotional.
Financial safety.
Sure.
Safety, you know, and enough man afraid to talk about the financial safety part. But go provide, virgin. Oh, I'm tell you, man. Go and go provide, man.
Yeah.
Go and go be a provider. Are you afraid for do that?
So go back to the question of who is a man? For me, a man is a biological male
Right.
human being, but also the one who takes responsibility for society
Oh, that is it, man. That is
Right.
it.
in all aspects of
Build the
society.
society.
In all aspects of life, we are the ones who take responsibility for society, regardless of if you are more feminine or if you're more masculine, or if you transition to another aspect of life. You are like, it is engraved in our DNA. It is engraved in our psyche. It is engraved in it is a social construct. Because first of all, people, me hate when people bring up things that they dislike and call it a social construct. Of course, it's a social construct. We're a society.
Everything is
Everything's a social construct.
Everything is
Where do you think
guided
it come
by
from?
principles, yeah.
It is for a purpose.
Right.
So a man.
One is man can't wear pink. Like, that's one of it.
What do you mean around
But
picture?
that come from
That's
us.
a social construct.
Yeah, but that come from
Pink for girls, blue for boys.
that came from a space of identifying.
Right.
Yo, well, if we go on a road, if that person have on pink, the likelihood is that they're a woman, right? But that was actually changed like some centuries ago, because it was men actually wore pink more than women. Women wore
To
more
me, them
blue.
think they're
But that for,
external.
No,
Yeah,
to me, not
but
to
that-
me like pink and
Yeah.
black, you know. Not to me.
but it's inconsequential in the grand scheme of
Right.
things. Men are the species in human society that are responsible for building that society.
All right, so let's just touch on this point about ego, the male ego, and like how people respond to that. What you guys thoughts about that?
So my definition or breakdown of ego is really the extension of self onto something that is not the person.
Right.
So for example, your family, your children, your woman, and on the negative side, objects like your car, your clocks, stuff like that. You extend yourself onto other things. So the positive side would be, all right, it's your ego that when somebody breaks into the house, you are saying this person is attacking me. So
Protect my
if you tell my child, you're attacking me.
Right.
If you tell my mother, you're attacking me.
Yeah,
And that is- Right,
Yeah.
so that is a positive spin off of the ego. The negative side would be like when people arbitrarily like extending themselves onto things that it don't mean nothing. Like, for example, ego over like one job where you think you're supposed to get or a new position or a raise or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
Go on the most way like the person that like the speaking negatively are probably hindering
I love
you
here
in
talk
some
with the
way.
mic out this one.
Sorry. I feel like I'm artist, but yeah, like I feel like it's that extension onto random outside objects where you get the negative aspects of the ego. So I
you
don't
could work
personally.
under a female boss.
What is it?
You could work
What?
below a female boss.
Of course.
And you would
I could have a female boss,
Yeah.
full stop.
Okay.
Because it's remember, so we're still talking to men, you know, and when you say work under a female boss, it can mean totally can mean a different thing. I can have a female boss, full stop.
Yeah, full stop.
But
Yeah.
I
Full
feel
stop.
like ego is an important topic to touch on because I mean I feel that's what drives a lot of the male separation and stuff because like you diss me, I go kill you. You know, like the same thing that you're saying, but it's just understanding that there's good and bad ego. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
It's ego is like Bill been saying, it's a projection of self. But like anything that is taken too far, if you project yourself too far, if you project that pride,
Pride. Pride. That is it. Pride.
only towards things that you need to just manage your own circle. You know, then you will have negative side effects. You'll have negative outcomes. So one of the discussions that men's ego really is surrounded on is women's bodies and the relationships and that kind of thing.
Feeling like it's your
I feel like
ownership.
we own women's bodies.
Preach,
There is
preach.
an extent to which we have a right to
I think the better word would be a duty to
no man.
protect and
No man.
preserve.
If you and a woman in a relationship, just like how the woman will be like, that's
My body are hers, your
that's
body
my
are mine.
yeah, that's my man.
Exchange,
and
right.
for me, that's my woman.
Exclusivity,
That-
right.
Yeah.
You have that circle. However, within that circle, it's two individual
Individuals,
circles,
naturally, yeah.
right? So there's still boundaries.
Boundaries,
So it's a matter of gaining permission.
Still have to
to-
ask certain stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to
If
gain
the girl
permission
said,
to
"No, I sex
interact.
tonight,"
Right. You can't force yourself on it because no, you're going beyond this is my woman
Right.
to
Right.
you are
Right.
my property.
It's my property.
It's a different conversation. So we have to be careful with our egos. We have to be careful with a projection of ourselves to not cross over boundaries,
Yeah.
especially in interpersonal
And another
relationships.
part of that, as you say, crossover boundaries. Boundaries are not just what a person doesn't want, It's also must be what you don't want for yourself. Because not
Yeah.
because a woman
Preach,
tell
preach.
because me talk to a girl who tell me say boy treat her like a rag doll.
Yo,
Me I say Jano.
But
Me
I
no-
think that is
What,
the issue
me-
of consent.
me I
that
say Jaja.
explains
Yeah,
that
so-
too.
But at the end of the day, you also need to, that's why I said this mental health thing is key because she can have some deep daddy issues.
yeah.
And
That's
Yeah.
true.
that
That's true.
that can be
Yeah.
also a projection.
Why
of deep-
she
You know-
wants to be
you know what's
why-
funny?
yeah.
You know what's funny? Sorry, me know we go up on a tangent now, but a lot of societal traumas are linked to either daddy issues or fatherlessness.
Yeah.
You hardly ever hear about mommy issues
man,
are
as a
are
man with deep in a psychology, man, and whole heap of, you have a lot.
no man,
You have a lot
you
of
are but I'm talking
mommy
about
issues out there,
no man,
man.
you,
And that
you do
wicked,
no man, you do I'm talking about
Common.
an umbrella term.
Yeah,
Right, right,
I
So
think what he's
it's
trying to
a
say is that,
primary
like,
thing.
Right.
So it goes to show the importance of men and father figures in
Right.
not just in the lives of men but in the lives of women as well.
Everyone.
Everyone.
We have a role
We
in
have a role.
society.
Right.
Right.
Both males and females have
Have
a
a
roles,
different role,
and
yeah.
we have. I've noticed that society is pulling us away from our roles.
Right.
And
Or
once
trying to muddy what
right,
it is.
right.
To
Right.
have an understanding of
So
what we're supposed to be doing and who we're
soon
supposed
our
to
society will seem so confused they will be
be.
lost.
Soon.
So as in
Right.
no, I want to tell you how I measure it. It still can be saved. It still can be saved. But just as Harriet Tubman would have said, you have to know, say, you're enslaved. If you don't know, say, you're enslaved. If you don't know, there's a problem. So which is why I always go back to the whole concept of mental health. Because ego, once you start to do work on self, you can fix that.
Right.
You see me? Pride, you can't
Keep
fix
it in
that.
check.
So you keep all of those things in check. So
Self-control.
that it all goes back to that. Because a lot of people out there doing things and you ask them why them do it, them can't rationalize it. Because them probably see it cultured. But them not know enough for themselves that them like.
Yeah.
Me don't know if none of one ever there with a girl it and she say a bad man she love. And when you start love upon her, one day you get all dark and say something she don't like and she say, go you don't love me. And I say, but me think a
The bad man you love.
Yeah.
You understand? So what you have to understand is some people are exposed to different things.
Yeah.
And as I said, the whole receive and giving of love, it break down in enough lives of people, in the masses. You can see it out there. No love not really out there again, bro. So if we can find a way to systematically reintroduce care in our society, we'll see change. And that starts with the creation of a healthy system that deals with mental health.
I feel like the world is just crazy. But
Yeah.
we're almost to the hour mark. I mean, we're having a good conversation. But let's just talk about this topic, two topics before we wrap up. In terms of just Jamaica and how it views masculinity and how we can change that as millennials growing up to like be better for this world. I think you were talking about like accountability and just like showing up for yourself and like being a better man. Like, what are some of those things that we can just encourage the youth them coming up? Because even this age of Gen Zers, that's a whole nother wild generation.
Sure.
Where even when we talking about like courting and like communication, they're just like, oh, some of the songs that are out there, it's like, I don't want the girl no more where I try going like hard to get and all of that. Just open up your whatever and just give it to me, right?
So here we go on. How you fix that? And it's a lot of people won't agree. But therapy. You need a system that
So you're encouraging men to go to
not men alone.
Just
That's
Just
what
in general,
Everybody.
we need it. We need it. So it also gives you a sense of security because you have people out there with gaslight and make you feel like something do you know. So you see once you secure in yourself, get a second opinion. You don't have to sit down. Just find a professional and make a professional help you. Reputable professional, make them help you, and you find society will just take a little time and be better. Right now, a whole heap of mad people in a clean clothes and walk up and down out there right now. And you go take them up and them carry your life and make it come like you walk back way. May I tell you, it's like you pick them up, you're on a good growth curve, you pick up this person downhill. So society, if we were to come together and accept and identify and accept that we live in a society that doesn't pay much attention
to a lot of
to a lot of things, but also the mental health of its citizens. And the citizens are the country. Without it, no make no sense. That's why murder can't stop, bro. That's why robbery, rape, all of them things we are going downhill as a country. You understand? And we need to literally start to pay more attention to the mental health of our citizens and create some more outreach programs to make sure, say, not only man, because I'm a man alone, a man and woman do these crazy things. Children are doing crazy things in schools. Things that we never even dream for do as a youth to go school. So we need to start focus on that. And we have to go back to basic, really, and truly. That me believe.
Well, we're in the millennial mindset moment. This is just a moment where you just talk to the youths, the men, whoever, and just share them. So I want each of you to give like a 20-second elevator pitch of like what you just want for men to do to like just be better for women, better for the world, and just this whole thing about toxic masculinity and all of that you just saying.
Alright, we'll start. One, have an understanding that you alone are responsible for yourself.
Right.
For one. My personal view on manhood is that you're here to develop yourself to the best of your ability,
Mhm.
become as powerful, as capable, whatever the case may be, within yourself, so that you can start, build, and share those values with your family, be the rock for your family, make your family as powerful, capable, competent, and secure as possible, which will result in communities taking on those traits, which will result in the entire society at large taking on those traits. As I've been saying throughout the whole thing, accountability with yourself, and then everything goes out from there, spreads out from there.
Cool.
Yeah. Belief in self, belief in God.
Mhm.
That's an important part.
God, that's where we get our identity from. Set your boundaries. Set your boundaries with yourself first, then share those boundaries with others, and respect the boundaries of others.
Right.
And those things will influence our behavior. Yeah, and I think we as millennials we're at a stage where we need to also impart our knowledge and wisdom and experience to the next generation. Do it in a way in which we're closer to them in terms of their age. We will be able to remember all the things that we wish somebody did for us.
Right.
So be that person for
Mentor,
the next person.
Chris? Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that this is my cousin guy. Did I say that?
Yeah,
They probably did.
20 times. In closing, I'm aligned.
Thank God no fighting happened today.
We need to create healthy mindsets. So just as you spoke about the family and creating healthy mindset, just as you spoke about boundaries, creating the boundaries, I will say in closing that the biggest part about growing and improving our society is actioning all those things that you guys just said and building a community.
Yeah.
So that
Community is
person,
important,
right,
Very important.
so that person,
Like-minded
Exactly.
individuals.
Right. So that in that way now we can groom and have persons aspire to be better, to create future healthy mindsets. So I don't have much more to say. They've said it pretty much. But all I just would want to say in closing is that in the creation of healthy mindsets, we need to come together because we as a people find new ways every day to separate ourselves from each other. And when I say find new ways to separate ourselves from each other, you start from poor, rich, you go from happy, sad, you go from you too bossy to you too hype, so me not deal with you. So many different things have polluted society that there's no more love as it used to be in abundance. Right, so we need to create communities, create healthy mindsets, and let that transition and transcend into future generations through families, through friends. So that's all I have to say in closing.
Yeah, and I mean, like, just to close out officially, it's like, for me, even doing this podcast, that was like the whole mission behind this, to just show that, like, different people can sit in a room and just have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, you respect me, I respect you, everybody.
Right.
And then also knowing that we have the onus on ourselves as well to keep ourselves accountable. So even like in domestic violence and situations like that, it's just knowing that you need to take care of yourself so you can show up in the world to be a better person.
Yeah.
Because that's what's most important. To be a man, as you said, to take charge of society, like be the leader, right? And understanding that even if like a female is in a role that is superior to you, just understand that's also life is sometimes. Like, don't make your ego get the better of you. I feel like in this world, a lot of things that happen is because you perceive them. I don't like how that girl is going in, or I don't like how him going in, or some of us are gonna hate them for no reason, right? Like we don't know anything about the person.
Just
so
separate
I'm just gonna
yourself.
hate
Yeah.
them and just separate
Right.
If you don't know nothing about the person, you don't know the
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Or if you just get to know the person, right?
Mm.
And I feel like everybody has a story as to why they behave. So if you take the time to listen, sometimes you're like, maybe that's why Omar gone, so maybe that's why he's gone. So, but I'm just happy that you guys were here today. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Living Millennially with StefKai. Of course, follow these guys on social media, especially Omari. He has your page with Redefining Manhood, some great content, TikTok, Instagram, all over. And guys, let's love each other more. Let's just love each other more. My cousin and I have been, how long have we been cousins?
I think it starts from birth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's how that works.
I'm glad I never go camping, you know, because them question they will me and no asking.
Well, yeah, guys, thank you for joining. And please join us next week for another fruitful, heartful, every kind of conversation. I was a bit nervous in this episode because I just didn't know what to expect. But I'm happy that these guys, my bros, were here and it was a good time. So, see you next time. Bye.
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah. You know me.
That's all right.
We want someone to go.
Yes, sir.
It's interesting.